Well, good evening. April 6th. Not April Fools, but we got a lot of fools we're going to talk about on the Alan Osborne show. We're going to go right back to Sandestin. Now, people are in awe of this and they just don't believe it. But let me ask you something. Why would so many officials refuse to discuss this? Have y'all seen the episode where I stand up in front of the commissioners, and I'll boost that again? Trey, Nick, Danny, all of them are in there, and all the engineers, and I tell them they've lied about Sandestin and this development order and the traffic and the deviations and the proportional fair share. Because let me tell you something. If you live on Mac Bayou and Sandestin's out of compliance, it's affected you. And if it's out of compliance and it needs a traffic study, between the lie about the traffic being in substantial deviation and not being credited on Mac Bayou and what the developer should or could possibly be having to pay if he can't stay within the bounds of the original one, there's no telling how many millions in proportional fair share that people have not had to pay, all developers. And we'll all end up paying with that, whether you're a condominium owner or any of that. And here's another myth. I believe the people in San Diego, I don't know, it's just my opinion. I mean, you don't have to take it. I'm not no lawyer or nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's just my opinion. But think about this. What I understand is SDI is privately owned, and Mr. Becknell's firmly in charge of that. But I also understand he has basically control of the HOA, and they signed some kind of agreement. They basically can't object to anything. So if the public's waiting for the master association to object, they're not going to. The developer's got them or has the vote or something. And the way I heard they presented it is you're not allowed to sue. But let me tell you something. All that, in my opinion, is predicated on whether the developer's in compliance. So if he's lying to everybody, including the county and to the owners, that's going to affect their value if he's not in compliance for traffic. He's getting ready to build, what, 6 or 7 high rises? Don't some of you people in Sandestin wonder why you're not objecting? You don't think your traffic's the issue? Let me ask you something. Is there an entrance at the back of your neighbor, a burnt pine, that goes out to Mac Bayou? And can those people come out the front gate from Driftwood? Because if not, that's who's getting credit for it. Look, you guys, if you don't understand, that was over 15% of your traffic. It's an automatic substantial deviation. Your county's not having hearings because the county's also got pipes on its own county right-of-ways. It's pumping into the base. So basically the county and developer are proceeding forward hand in hand, both in violation, going, I won't tell on you, you don't tell on me. We've got control of the people. But that's a bunch of BS. We, the public, everybody in South Walton is affected by this development because it's bisected by US 98. Jesus. You can't make this up. So this thing's in violation. If all you people in Sandestin want 7 more high rises, just sit there and let your HOAs represent your rights. Those people must be firmly in somebody's pockets, because if I lived in there, I'd be raising total hell about having 7 more high rises worth of people in a place that's already non-compliant. I wouldn't do it. It devalues your land. It devalues everybody around there. But here's the real deal. It's not just Sandestin. When the county corruption goes on, and these kind of lies, it affects other areas, just like it did in this case. Mac Bayou Road has been overloaded, but according to the traffic studies, it's not, because they say the traffic's going on a road that doesn't even exist. This kind of corruption and this kind of thing affects planning under proportional fair share for neighborhoods. You know, where we go down through there, this board of county commissioners has done absolutely nothing about changing the drainage standard. We were $100 million behind, and they haven't done anything to change it. You go down 98, you see buildings being built 8 feet above the building next to it. It's going to flood it. It's who's ever first one standing is going to be the first one flooded when it's all built out, because everybody's built higher. But look, I want to tell you what I did about it. People go, how come nobody's doing about it? Well, the county attorney, right? The guy who's filing the paperwork saying it's okay. This is the sheriff's cousin. So I'm helping you orient to this. Clay Atkinson declared when he became the county attorney, and he's an interim, he's not bound by ethics. He declared that he had a conflict with the developer of Sandestin. So now he's letting them develop it. Do you really think that his cousin, you don't see the resemblance, that his cousin is going to go investigating for a white collar crime? Do y'all think that? He's not going to. He's not going to. We're all going to eat it. And what happens is developers aren't really helping us because they're overloading our road. They're polluting our bays. He's not meeting the water retention standards. Your property value, if you live around the bay and the beach and the water quality goes down, your investment's value goes down. I mean, that's just a fact. But here, let me tell you what I did today. Because, hey, Alan, why didn't nobody do anything? Why don't they say you're wrong? I don't know. But I'm trying to make everybody see what's happened. So in the effort of fairness, I did this today. I broke out the Walton County Sheriff's Department roster. And at the Walton County, all lieutenants and captains and majors, and even the sheriff over in Okaloosa County, I sent them this email, and it went out to R. Gray at the Walton County Sheriff's Department, C. Webster and P. Pendleton and D. Robson and T. Park and D. Cosin and C. Lemon and Audie Rao. Let's see who else. Brad Drake got it. Danny Glidewell got it. Tony Corman got it. Boots McCormick, Mike Barker, Tony Anderson, and Trey Mick are all the sheriffs and law enforcement and elected officials and, you know, whoever. They got this email from me today. And it says as follows. Salutations. If you are in the 2 box, I am assuming you are a sworn law enforcement officer, elected official, or some kind of big shot in the county, bound by your oath to report all crimes. I'm giving you this and future emails in an attempt to report fraud and corruption that includes Sheriff Atkinson, Graham Fountain possibly, and over 10 high-ranking elected officials and Walton County employees. The Alan Osborne Show, with an example link below, lays out the obvious fraud, corruption, and watching my shows in order on YouTube for about the last 5 shows and the next 5 will teach you the crime and who's involved. I will also be sending enough documents to support all my accusations and claims, and will continue to try to meet whatever standard it's going to take for probable cause until a state investigator or somebody contacts me. Let me know if this is enough for probable cause, I believe is what I said. Only you know what you will tell your family, investigators, and the public if ever asked in deposition or court, what did you do with this information? Remember, if you were in the 2 box, you're elected or an official or a law enforcement officer. You guys got oaths, right? Okay, just checking. Anyway, so only you know what you'll tell your family, what you did with this information. Do you ignore it, discuss it? Do you get the good old boys together and put the hit on me? Well, they already shot through my house once, and the whole pitchfork thing was special too. Slash tires, also very classy. I enjoyed all of those. Boy, it's a hell of a position to be in with old Eric, meaning the sheriff of Okaloosa County, being so close to Graham and all. And then Graham worked in the state attorney's office and used to work for Atkinson. So a lot of the people who've covered this up are highly connected to the state attorney's office, or they're elected law enforcement. This is not good. Anyway, Stand by and prepare to be shocked if you'll actually watch these. Some of you already watch. Remember, my show is public and I see who's looking and sharing. See you soon. Same back channel. Alan Gump Osborne. I'm the best piece in Mama's box of chocolates. Watch the $500 million fraud episode. It is epic. I followed this email up with sending it to the news, some newspapers, and a lot of people in the community. And I also then attached, I think, 17 documents with like state letters, Walton County's own expert testimony that it's in non-compliance from Dr. Harper, the State Board of Engineers rulings, the adoption of the PUD, copies of the rules. I sent them all the documents. And so there you are. You've asked me why nobody's doing something. The answer is, hell, I don't know. But we're about to find out if they will. And that's what's going on the Alan Osborne Show. Okay, here's the joke of the day. If you see this, this could be the backside of Scott Brannon, but you'll only know if either Danny or Trey's Nick's face looks like this. And that's the way it was in Sandestin. Out of compliance. No meetings, no rulings, no truth. April 6th, 2022 on the Alan Osborne Show. You law enforcement, try to keep them straight out there. I'm trying to help you out. See you next time.